Nichopi Yat Prasad Chad Bhakti Shastra Pavartaka Nityanandamaham Nomi Sarvanandakaram Padam Harinam Padam Devam Avaduti Shiromanim Nityanandamaham Nomi Sarvanandakaram Padam Harinam Padam Devam Avaduti Shiromanim Ilachala Nivasaya Nityaya Paramatmane Balabhadra Subhadrabhyam Jagannataya Te Namaha Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Munindra Vrindavandite Triloka Shoka Harini Prasanna Bhakta Pankajai Nikunja Bhubilasini Brajendravanu Nandini Brajendra Sunu Sangate Kada Karishasi Hamam Kripa Katakshamadhanam Vindai Tulsi Dedve Priya Keshavasya Cha Krishna Bhakti Padi Devi Satya Vachai Namo Namah Vanshakapatu Prishta Kripa Sindhu Veva Chapatitanam Pavinebhyo Vaishnavibhyo Namo Namah Jai Jai Shri Chaitanya Jai Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chanda Jaya Gaura Bhaktavinda. Today I was requested to say something about Lord Nityananda Prabhu. So trying to speak about Lord Nityananda in the span of 1 hour is impossible. Actually, for millions of lifetimes, we can speak about Lord Nityananda and not cover the topic properly. It's something like trying to fit the entire body of oceans of the world into a single cup. Pacific Ocean, Atlantic Ocean, Indian Ocean, Mediterranean Ocean, Caspian Sea, Red Sea. How to fit it all? Impossible. But let us try and taste a few drops of nectar of the glories of Lord Nityananda Prabhu. And I'll be referring mostly to Vaishnava bhajans glorifying Lord Nityananda. Because when Srila Prabhupada was in Denver, Colorado in 1975, July, he was on the Vyasasana and he asked a devotee to sing this song, Bhajahu Remana. So a devotee sang the song, Prabhupada appreciated it, and he said that these bhajans of our acharyas, Lochan Das Thakur, Govinda Das, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Narottam Das Thakur, he said these bhajans in the simple Bengali language are non-different from the Vedas, non-different from the Vedas, non-different from the Vedas. So this information we get in all Vedic literature is compressed within the simple stanzas of the beautiful bhajans written by our Vaishnavacharyas. So Lochan Das Thakur, he wrote one beautiful bhajan glorifying Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda. And he begins by saying, Parama Karuna Pahundri Jana, Nitai Gaura Chanda, Saba Avatar Sarshiromani, Kevala Ananda Kanda. This means that of all avatars, that Parama Karuna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is Parama Karuna. But the limit of his Karuna, the limit of his mercy is expressed in Lord Nityananda and Lord Chaitanya, Parama Karuna. If the Lord wants to show his opulence, he comes as Lord Vishnu or as Lord Rama. If he wants to show his beauty as Lord Krishna and Vamandev, most beautiful feature of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. If he wants to show his anger, supreme anger, he comes as Lord Narasimha, Nishingadev. But when he wants to show mercy, Parama Karuna, topmost mercy, the limit of all mercy, he comes as Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda. So therefore, Saba Avatar, Sar Shiromani, they're the essence of all incarnations. Because we read in Bhagavad Gita, Lord says in Bhagavad Gita, Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati dharma glanir bhavati bharata abhyutanam adharmasya tadatmanam srijamyaham paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya chadushkritam dharma sanstapanartaya sambhavami yuge yuge. The Lord comes in every millennium to establish dharma, dharma sanstapana. And what is dharma? In this Kali Yuga, dharma means Harinam Sankirtan. Kurteya Dharato Vishnum Tvetayam Yajuko Makai Dwapare parikachayam kalo tad hari kirtana. And in age of Kali, Dharma means Hari Kirtan. Jagyai Sankirtana Prayaya Janti Sumedasa. The incarnation of Lord Chaitanya is described there as that Harinam Sankirtan, and persons endowed with sufficient intelligence will take this process of chanting the holy name and become perfect. Because from what do we get from Harinam? From Harinam we get prema. From Krishna Nam we get Krishna prema. So Lord Chaitanya, Lord Nityananda came to this world for this express purpose, for this singular purpose, to taste the chanting of the holy name and to distribute the holy name and to practice chanting the holy name. Lord Nityananda would come to the door of different householders, knock on the door, and when they opened the door, he'd roll on the ground like a golden mountain rolling on the ground, begging them, please chant the holy name. Please chant the holy name. Please chant the holy name. Imagine the scene. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, because Lord Nityananda is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He's a portion of a portion. That Sankarshan, Adishesha, Balaram, Lakshman are all expansions of Nitai. Lord Krishna's immediate expansion is Balaram. So Golokera, what's that? Golokera Premadana Harinama Sankirtana. This prema comes from Goloka. And Brajendra Nandana say, Sachi Sutta Hoilo say, Balaram Hoilo Nitai. That Balaram Hoilo Nitai. That Balaram has become Nityananda. And Brajendra Nandan, Krishna, Shyamasundar has become Gaurasundar. To come to this world to distribute the holy name of Krishna. So this is Dharma in this age. Dharma Sanstapanartaya Sambhavami. He comes in every yuga. In Kali Yuga he comes in Channa avatar. When Krishna came throughout Bhagavad Gita, we find many shlokas where Krishna describes himself as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But when the learned Pandits, after studying Shastra, determined that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Nityananda Prabhu, were none other than the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna Balaram, and when they addressed him like that, Mahaprabhu would cover his ears and go, Vishnu, Vishnu, Vishnu. He's Channa avatar. He's not directly promoting himself as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But they're establishing Dharma by the chanting of the holy name. Therefore, Parama Karuna. When Krishna came, he demanded, Sarva Dharmam Parityaja Mam Ekam Sharanam, that you surrender, rascal. Mam Ekam Sharanam, take exclusive shelter of me. Lord Chaitanya he said, simply chant Harinam. The instruction is the same. By chanting Harinam, we get the shelter of the holy name. We get the shelter of the Lord by chanting his holy name. This is surrender. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur said that chanting Hare Krishna is bhakti. By chanting Krishna's name, we are surrendering. We're performing the most important anga of bhakti, which is to hear the holy name, hear in Shravanam and Kirtanam. This is the foundation of our progress in spiritual life. So Sabha Avatar Sarashiromani, they're the crest jewel of all avatars. Lord came to establish Dharma. He came to annihilate the demons, Paritaranaya Sadhuna Vinashaya Chaduskritam. So Lord Chaitanya didn't come to annihilate the demons. He came to annihilate the demoniac mentality by the distribution of the holy name of Krishna. And the prime example, that Papi Tapi Jatachilo Harinama Sank Udharilo Tar Sakshi Jagai Madhai. Who is the example of this? Jagai and Madhai. The most sinful rascals, sinful, wretched demons. Chitragupta, the scribe of Yamaraj. Chitragupta, Chitra means a picture and Gupta means a secret. So people think, I'm committing this sin in secret, no one is seeing me, but the sun is seeing, the moon is seeing, the night is seeing, the day is seeing, the directions are seeing. Chitragupta is taking note of every sinful activity and he's writing it down. He became overwhelmed Chitragupta and all the other scribes of Yamarish became overwhelmed, taking note of the sinful life of Jagai and Madhai. So when Lord Nityananda was attacked by Madhai, when he broke a pot and caused the head of Lord Nityananda to bleed, Lord Chaitanya appeared on the scene and he called for his chakra, 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 and to kill the demon Madhai who attacked his beloved brother Nitai. Nityananda said, no, you've come in this age to deliver people. And when he was attacked by Madhai, what did he do? In this age, if someone says something to you, if someone insults you, then it can turn into a fist fight. You can get shot driving on the road if you honk at someone or inadvertently cut them off in traffic. They may pull out a gun and shoot you dead. Nityananda was physically attacked, causing his head to bleed. What was his reaction? Did he call the police? Did he give Madhai a punch in the nose? Did he fight back? He gave prem. You've attacked me, but I give you prem. This is most merciful. The topmost limit of mercy was exhibited by Lord Nityananda. Lord Chaitanya was ready to kill him, but Lord Nityananda said, no, in this incarnation you come to deliver them. Paritranaya sadhunam, to deliver them, to show your mercy. Because in this Kali Yuga, Kalir doshanidhe raja neko yasti mahadgunad kirtanareva krishnasya mukta sangha parambhajat. This ocean of faulty things. Faults in politics, faults in relationships, faults in the weather, faults in our own body, faults in the air we breathe, the food we eat, the water we drink, faults everywhere. Doshanidhe. So ocean of faulty things. But eko yasti mahadguna, there's one extraordinary thing. Just by chanting the holy name, we can go back to Godhead. This is the extraordinary thing of this age of Kali. And Lord Chaitanya, Lord Nityananda came to deliver this process, this blissful, Kevala Ananda Kanda, this blissful process of Harinam Sankirtan and Bhakti. Kevala Ananda, unalloyed process of Ananda. Chant, dance, and feast, Prabhupada would say. Chant until you feel tired, then take prasadam. And when you can't eat any more prasadam, then go chant and take some rest, then chant and dance and feast. And this is the process of self-realization in Kali Yuga. No austerity, no big austerity, no jnana, no meditation, no twisting your body in yoga. None of these things can give the result. Only this process, Harinam Sankirtan, can give the result of Krishna Prema. And Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda gave this process freely to the world. Therefore, Parama Karuna, Pahudvijana, these two brothers, Dvijana, Nitai, Gaurachanda, Saba Avatar, the essence of all, the crest jewel of all avatars, because they're giving love. Other avatars gave liberation. They paritranaya sadhanam, they protected the devotees. They destroyed the demons, but they never gave prema. Not one. Only Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu gave prema. How fortunate we are to be associated with him. So next verse says, Bajo Bajo Bhai Chaitanya Nitai Sudrida Vishvasa Kori Vishaya Chariya Se Rase Majaya Mukhe Bolo Hari Hari. That have faith. Bajo Bajo Bhai, my dear brothers, have faith. Sudrida Vishvas, unshakable faith in these brothers, Nityananda and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Don't think that worshiping them will not give the desired result. It will. We have to have faith. And Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, without faith we can't obtain the objective. Ashradhana Purusha, 9th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Ashradhana Purusha, Dhammasya Parantapa, Aprapya Mam Nivartante Mrityu Sansara Vartmini. Those who are faithless, Ashradhana, cannot achieve me. What happens to them? They return to the world of birth and death. So Lochan Das Thakur is saying, have faith, Sudrida Vishvasakori, that don't think that this process will not give the result. It will give the result. But one thing, Vishaya Chariya Se Rase Majiya, give up sense gratification. give up addiction. As conditioned souls, we're addicted to the bodily conception of life, which means I will be happy by gratifying the senses of my body, to hear, to see, to smell, to taste, to touch. This process of sense gratification is the addiction of material life. We're addicted to the bodily conception of life, which means we're addicted to mental and physical forms of material gratification. But this can never make us happy. In fact, Krishna says in Gita, Yehi sansparsa jamboga dukkha yone evate ajantavantu kunteya nate shu ramate buddha. That it is because sansparsh bhog, trying to enjoy this world of dead, dull, lifeless matter with our senses, is a cause of distress. Dukkha yonaya evate. That where do we find, where does unhappiness born? Where does it come from? Dukkha yoni comes from sansparsh bhoga, trying to enjoy our senses. So Lochandas Thakur is saying, Vishaya chariya, give up Vishaya, give up material life, and simply fill your mouth. Mukhe bolo hari hari. Fill your mouth the holy name of Krishna. This is the process of happiness. Kevala Anandakanda. Such a simple, and we can hardly do this. It's such a simple thing, and we can hardly do that. This is the nature of Kali Yuga. Prayana Parashal Sabya Kalevasmin Yogejana Manda Sumanda Mateo Manda Bhagya Upadhuta. We're addicted to material conception of life in Kali Yuga. Therefore, we're described as Manda, Sumanda, unlucky, always disturbed, always in distress in Kali Yuga. So because of our disqualification, the process is so simple, so easy. Kevala Anandakanda. So Lochandas Thakur is saying, have faith in Gaur Nitai. Don't doubt their mercy. And control yourself. Chant the holy name. Mukhe bolo hari hari. Fill your mouth with the holy names of Krishna. Because this is the process of self-realization. It's not a concoction that our acharyas have concocted this process. Rather, Shastra says distinctly, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Iti sudashakam namnam kalikama sanasanam nata parataropaya sarvavedeshu drishyate. That if you search throughout the entire body of Vedic literature, if it were possible to be able to search through everything, such a voluminous body of transcendental literature, if you were able, you cannot find a more effective, powerful process of self-realization than simply chanting these 16 names of the Lord. It's the essence, the saram of all Vedas. So this is the process given by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Mukhe bolo hari hari. And Lochandas Thakur is encouraging us. Have faith in this process. Look at when you sit in front of your altar and you see Guru Parampara, what are they doing? What is Srila Prabhupada? What is your Guru Maharaj holding in his hand? Japamala. What is Prabhupada holding in his hand? Japamala. What is Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur holding in his hand? Japamala. Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Japamala. Jagannath Das Babaji, Japamala. Gorkishore Das Babaji had no mala. He's simply his Babaji is avadut in another world, chanting in his heart of hearts, dancing in his heart of hearts with Gaur Nitai. They're doing this, we're doing the same thing they're doing, and we can expect a similar result. They're getting prema. They're the embodiment of prema, chanting holy name. If we also chant the holy name, Mukhe bolo hari hari, fill our mouth with the holy name, we will get the same result. This is dharma, not easy to understand. Mahabharata says, Dharma tattvam nihitam guhayam mahajano yena kata sapanta. That the tattva of the truth of religiosity, where the truth of dharma is guhayam, not easy to understand. But how do we grasp it? What is the process? Mahajano yena kata sapanta. We follow the path trod by our previous acharyas. They're walking a path that leads directly back to Godhead. If we follow the same path, we will go to the same place. Simple thing. This is the process of understanding Dharma. So Lochandas Thakur is saying, do this thing, fill your mouth, chant the holy name, chant Krishna's beautiful name, these beautiful bhajans we sing. Yashumati Nandana Bhajubaro Nagara Gokula Ranjana Kana Gopi Paranadana Madana Manohara Kalya Damona Bidana. All beautiful names of Krishna. And when we chant the names, bring our mind to Leela, Yashumati Nandana. When we sing Yashumati Nandana, in our mind, we should envision beautiful form of Srimati Yashoda Devi holding Bal Krishna, feeding him with her own breast, looking at his face, kissing his face. Idam te mukam bojam attanta nilar vitam kuntalai snigdha raktaishta gopya muhushchambitam bimba rakta dharam me manasya virastam alam lakshalabhai. Satyavrata Muni, we sing this beautiful song during Damodar month. Satyavrata Muni is saying, Kimanyai, I don't want any other thing than to bring my mind to this beautiful vision of Mother Yashoda kissing the face of Lord Krishna, whose beautiful lotus-like face is encircled by locks of curling black hair. So when we sing these bhajans, we should bring our mind to Leela, and we'll find great happiness and satisfaction and purity of heart just by doing these simple processes. So then Lochandas Thakur says, Deko ori bhai, tribhuvane nai, emana doyala data. If you search throughout the whole universe, who will you find to be more merciful, more compassionate, more understanding, more generous than these two brothers, Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda? She's saying, oh, Deko ori bhai, tribhuvane nai. There's no one else in the whole three worlds that can match the mercy of Lord Nityananda and Lord Chaitanya. Deko ori bhai tribhuvanina emono doyala data pashu pakhi jore pasana vidare suni jar gunagata. That when the birds and beasts hear the glories of the mercy of Lord Nityananda and Lord Chaitanya, they cry and stones melt. Stones melt hearing the mercy of Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda, who have come to this world simply to deliver us from our own materialistic conception of life, our own sinful life, our misconceptions, our addictions to the bodily conception of life, and giving us the highest thing, Krishna Prema, which is Durlabha, Brahma Durlabha Prem, most rare thing. And Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda are giving it up, Krishna Prema Pradayate, giving it up freely. How? Golokera Premadana Harinama Sankirtana. That Goloka Prem, the ecstatic emotional experience of love of God, of the residents of Goloka, has come to this world in the form of Harinam Sankirtan. Of Harinam Sankirtan. But what is our disease? Ratina Janmi Lokenetai. We have no rati, we have no appreciation, no love for the chanting of the holy name. But if we chant the holy name, if we take up the process, love for the process will develop. Shastra says, Nama parada yuktanam namanyeva harantyagam avishranti prayuktani tanyavarti karanicha. That we make offenses to the holy name. This is why we have no feeling for the holy name. Sometimes devotees ask, they say, Prabhu, I've been chanting Hare Krishna for 10 years, 15 years, 20 years. I'm not getting any taste. Why is that? Because we don't focus. We don't apply our intelligence to what we're doing. We're not mindful. We're chanting, our mouth is going Hare Krishna, but our mind is thousands of miles away. Thinking about relationships, thinking about money, thinking about job, thinking about family, thinking about house and car and position in the world, thinking about hundreds of thousands of other things besides Krishna. And we wonder why we don't get a taste. The process of japa means to bring yato nischaliti manas chanchalamas tatastato nayam yaitat atmaneva vashamnaya, to bring your mind back to Krishna. So with every mantra, with every syllable of the mantra, we should try and bring our mind to Krishna. His nam, gun, rup, lila, parikars, all the different qualities of Krishna. His name, quality, form, pastimes, associates. We should bring our mind to Krishna when we chant japa. Then we'll get a taste. Not that we're just making some noise with our mouth and pulling down beads. There's a nice story in this connection. Across the river from Mayapur, in today's Navadvip, which at the time of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was known as Kulia. Mayapur is this side, eastern side of the Ganga. Navadvip at that time was during the time of Mahaprabhu and during the time of Saraswati Thakur, Bhaktivinoda Thakur was known as Kulia. So they were traveling, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur and his transcendental father, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. And they needed to find a place to stay. They rented one place, and the next morning the residents were very surprised. They asked them, how you even survived the night at that place? It's inhabited by a fearsome Brahma Rakshasa. We're very surprised you survived the night, Bhaktivinoda Thakur explained. Yes, there was some trouble, but by the vibration of the transcendental name of the Lord, the Brahma Rakshasa was released and he left that place. They were quite surprised. Then they explained that this Brahma Rakshasa was a pujari in his last life, and he committed some offense, and then he had to take a birth as a Rakshasa ghost. So they said, how is it possible? He was a priest, he was chanting mantras, he was worshipping the deity. How did he become Brahma Rakshasa? Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur explained that the holy name is not a combination of syllables. So even though the priest may be chanting, Om Swasti no Govinda, Swasti no Chutananda, Swasti no Vasudeva Vishnu Taratu, Swasti no Narayano Narovai, Swasti no Padmanabha Purushottama, he's chanting in mantra, but he's not chanting. He's not actually touched the holy name, because the holy name is not a combination of letters of letters of the alphabet. The holy name is Krishna himself. Nama Chintamani Krishna's Chaitanya Rasa Vigraha Purna Shuddho Nitya Mukto Binatam Nama Namino. The holy name of Krishna is directly Krishna himself. Binatam, except for one thing. The holy name of Krishna is more merciful than the person Krishna. Otherwise, completely identical. So, chanting Krishna's name is not just vibrating syllables. We have to bring our mind. So when Bhaktivinoda Thakur chanted the holy name of Krishna from his heart of hearts, when that vibration filled the room, then the Brahma Rakshasa could not stay. So in the same way, when we chant japa, we should bring our mind to Krishna. Not allow our, as far as possible, it's a practice we're sadhakas, which every day we try and do the same thing. As far as possible, we should be mindful. Now is my Krishna time. Now mentally, I'm with Krishna. I'm vibrating his name. I'm bringing my mind to Krishna, to his beautiful form, his name, his associates, his pastimes, his lila, his mercy, his temple, his books, his devotees, his prasadam, everything related to Krishna. And we push everything else out. We push that aside for 2 hours, 2.5 hours it takes you to chant your japa. We push that aside and focus on Krishna. This is the process of getting the mercy. This is a process that was given by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu. So who is more merciful? You search the whole universe, Tribhuvana. You'll not find anyone more merciful than these two brothers, Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda, who came to benedict the whole world with the holy name of Krishna. Now I wanted to also speak about some verses from Narottam Das Thakur's famous song Nitai Pada Kamalam. Oh, last verse. Sansare Majaya Sevra Se Majaya. Sansare Majaya Rohili Paya. Sepade Nahilo Asa. Apana Karama Bonjaya Shama Narottama Dasa. He's saying that I'm so unfortunate that I'm being punished by Yamaraj. Why do I not have any attraction to this mission of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? That I'm being punished by Yamaraj. I'm so unfortunate. So we should have this attitude too, that if we're not feeling the ecstasy of Lord Chaitanya's movement, we should pray that I'm so unfortunate. Please lift me out of this ignorance and let me taste the nectar of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Lord Nityananda Prabhu's Harinam Sankirtan movement. So we should make that prayer. This is the prayer of Lochan Das Thakur, eternal associate of the Lord. That I'm simply being punished by Yamaraj because I have no attraction to this beautiful mission, this movement, Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda's Sankirtan movement. So Narottam Das Thakur wrote one beautiful song, Nitai Pada Kamala Koti Chandra Sushitala. Yechaya Jagata Jurai. He's saying the whole world, Jagat, is burning. And they're suffering. Why are they suffering? Because they don't have the shelter of the soothing moon of the feet of Lord Chaitanya, of Lord Nityananda Prabhu, whose lotus feet are compared Koti Chandra Sushitala. Koti Chandra, Koti means 10 million. The aggregate cooling value of 10 million moons do not compare to the soothing effect of taking shelter of the lotus feet of Lord Nityananda. We should remember that, because what is the nature of this world? Look, I mean, as devotees, we can become jaded that we have this life of bhakti, we're eating sattvic food, transcendental food, prasadam, we are associating with transcendental personalities, devotees. We read transcendental literature that enlighten us, that purify our consciousness, give satisfaction to our heart. We have wonderful life. We can easily forget how much people are actually suffering in this world. How much they're suffering. As we're sitting here in our homes, or I'm sitting here in this transcendental abode, Sridham Mayapur, as I'm sitting here, there's people being raped, there's people being murdered, there's people being tortured, there's people dying on the battlefield. They're being bombed and shot and run over with tanks and missiles shot at them. Their home is devastated. They're suffering. We forget, what is this world? But we should remember, what is the shelter for every soul of this world? That is the lotus feet of the Lord, whose lotus feet are more cooling than the aggregate total value of 10 million moons. So this is a solution to the burning nature of this material world. Sansara Vish, he sings in another song, Sansara Vishanale Jivanishi Hiadrele, that I'm suffering in this world. I'm suffering in the burning fire of material existence, because material existence is a burning fire. We're being consumed in that fire of material life by the process of disease, by the process of old age, by the process of death. We forget that, but we should remember what is the nature of this material world, and that gives some impetus, some enthusiasm for taking up the process of Krishna Bhakti more sincerely. Then it says, Heno nitai vinay bai, Radha Krishna paitenai, Dridakori daro nitai pai. That if you want to worship Radha Krishna, if you want to even approach Radha Krishna, then you have to take shelter of nitai. This is a very important thing for us to understand, because Radha Krishna means Radha Krishna Murti, it means Radha Krishna Nam, it means Radha Krishna in Goloka. This is our prayojana in life. What do we pray for? We pray to Srimati Tulsi Maharani every day, Radha Krishna Seva Pabo Ayabhilashi. My abhilash, my objective, my desire, my heart's proclivity, what I want in life is to worship Radha Krishna. So we pray, give me service to Radha Krishna. Eneve dhanadaro sakirano gatakaro. Seva adhikaro diye koro nijadasi. Give me the adhikar to worship Radha Krishna. Give me that blessing. So that blessing has to be authorized by Lord Nityananda. Heno nitai vinay Radha Krishna paite nai. You can't approach Radha Krishna without the mercy of Nitai. So if we want to enter into the dancing part, Srila Prabhupada would say, if you want to enter the dancing party of Radha Krishna, we have to catch hold of the lotus, firmly catch hold of the lotus feet of Nitai and beg mercy from Nityananda to be allowed. It's not that by our service, by our chanting, by our renunciation, by our knowledge that Krishna is forced. He's not. He's not obliged. We have to qualify ourselves to receive that mercy. Both things have to be there, actually, in spiritual life. Our endeavor, our practice of sadhana, our strict practice of sadhana, our hearing, our chanting, our attending temple, worshipping deities, attending temple functions, studying, serving Vaishnavas, taking only prasadam, all the things we do. What is the purpose of that? To simply attract the mercy. Because just doing those things does not oblige Krishna. He's not obliged. There has to be mercy, one side endeavor. We have to endeavor to attract the mercy. But we can't also think, I don't have to endeavor. Whenever Krishna wants to show me mercy, then I'll become a great devotee. Both things have to be there hand in hand. Mercy and our stringent endeavor to follow and be the best devotee we can be. Then it may be possible to enter, as Prabhupada translates this verse, to enter the dancing party of Radha Krishna, which he said is the objective of this ISKCON society. He writes in one place, to enter the dancing party of Radha Krishna. Next verse says, Se sambandhi nahi jar, prita janma gelotar, se pashu baro durachar. Prabhupada comments in the purport to this verse on tape. He says that Narottam Das Thakur is using very heavy language, baro durachar, that he is a pashu. He's simply a two-legged animal. He's an animal without a tail. Fallen soul, a dull, stupid animal who has not established se sambandha nahi jar. He has no sambandha with Lord Nityananda. He never chants Nityananda, Nitai, Gaur Nitai, Nityananda, Nityananda. He never chants this name. Therefore, he's nothing than a two-legged animal. Baro durachar, a pashu, and borrowed a great badmas, pamara, fallen soul, because he has no relationship with Nityananda. Nityananda is everything for Vaishnava, especially the Gaudiya Vaishnavas. Lord Nitai is everything. We can't approach Lord Chaitanya without the mercy of Nityananda. So we beg mercy of Lord Nityananda in our worship of Radha Krishna. To approach Radha Krishna, to approach Lord Gauranga, to approach Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. How did Jagai Mata get mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? Only by Nitai's mercy. Otherwise, Gauranga Mahaprabhu is ready to kill them, is ready to take them out. So without this relationship, Nitai nai bolilo moke, majilo sansaro soke, vidya kule ki kori betar. Says, what is the value of human life if we don't get mercy from Lord Nityananda? And without that relationship with Lord Nityananda, then we become merged in an ocean of material, merged in an ocean of the hope, the false hope for material happiness. Because how do we get mercy? How do we become free from attachment to this material world? By the mercy of Lord Nityananda. He gives us that mercy to become free from attachment to this material world. And he said, Vidya kule ki kore betar. What is the use of materialistic education? When the last breath comes, can you show Yamaraj your degree? Hey, I'm MA, PhD, MBBA, BTech, MTech. I'm educated. Will it matter? So sorry, let's go. You will be judged by Yamaraj, and your education is not your friend at the time of death. Your bank balance is not your friend at the time of death. Can you show your bank statement to Yamaraj? Hey, I'm crorepati. Look, see how much money I have. What is our wealth in this material world? Our wealth in this material world is what we've spent, what we've given for the service of the Lord, not what we have in the bank, because you can't take that with you. It's not your friend at the time of death. Our friend at the time of death is our bhakti, our progress in spiritual life, what we've given, not what we've taken. So Narottam Das Thakur is saying, Vidya kule ki kori betar, that this vidya, your knowledge and family and material assets, they're not your friend at the time of death. Only Krishna, only Guru is your friend at the time of death. There's a nice story. One of my godbrothers did very significant service in Eastern Europe, I believe. He opened temples, he distributed books, got books translated. He did significant service. Somehow or other, by offense, by karma, by destiny, whatever the reason, he completely fell away from spiritual life in every way. No principles, no practice, nothing. Became an ordinary sinful man. When he died, there was no devotee in attendance. The nurse who witnessed the event told us later what happened. That he sat up in bed, he looked at the door, and he said, "Srila Prabhupada, you've come for me." And he laid back down and left his body. So Prabhupada came in his transcendental form to bless this devotee, because this is the mercy of Nityananda that came through Srila Prabhupada. He didn't see, oh, this devotee became an ordinary sinful man. Rather, he saw this person has served the mission of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. How can we forget him? And he came to escort him to his next auspicious destination, not judging him. Oh, you've become sinful, you're a rascal, go to hell forever. Never. Prabhupada blessed him at the last moment of his life to take up devotional service. Neha bikramana shosti pratyavayo nabidite swapamapyasya dharmasya trayate mahato bhayat. In this endeavor, there's no loss or diminution, and a little advancement protects us from the most dangerous type of fear, which is again fall back down into material life. So this is the mercy of Nityananda that comes through Sri Guru, because Lord Nityananda is who? Adi Guru. He's the original Guru. And we should see our Guru as a representative of Lord Nityananda, or Srila Prabhupada writes, as the representative of Srimati Radharani. So this is the importance of taking shelter of Lord Nityananda. And he says, Nitar charana sate tahara sevaka nitya nitai pada sada koro ash. Narotama bhoro duke nite more koro suke rako rangak chara nirapash. The lotus feet of Lord Nityananda are not illusion, they are a fact. There is a class of man in this world, especially prominent in Kali Yuga, that says this whole process of Krishna Bhakti, it is a myth, it is mythological. This happened once in a lecture that was being given in our San Diego ISKCON temple, and the speaker was His Holiness Badri Narayan Swami. So he gave Sunday feast lecture, and he asked for questions. One man stood up and he said, you know, this is all Krishna is a fairy tale, this is all a hoax, it is fake, there is no next life, there was no, this life is all.
Hare Krishna, Sarvodal Prabhu. No screen got frozen.
But I love my life. I associate with wonderful people. I associate with wonderful people. I eat delicious, healthful food. I'm peaceful. I'm self-controlled. I love my life. I sing, I dance, I chant. I read beautiful transcendental philosophical literature. I love my life. If there's Krishna, if there's Krishna, I'm going back to Godhead. And you, my friend, are in deep trouble. So it's a win-win situation for devotees. We have wonderful life. And if there's Krishna, we go back to Krishna. And sing and dance forever in the kingdom of God. So the lotus feet of Lord Nityananda, they are not false, they're a fact. Rather, the opposite is true. The atheist life, Prabhupada called it asara. I just read a purport this morning, where Prabhupada called the life of an atheistic non-devotee is asara, useless, insubstantial. It is, if anything is a dream, it is material life. This body is a dream. What is it? It's blood and bones and fat and skin and hair and brain and lung and heart and kidneys, stomach, liver, pancreas, intestine. It's a dream. What part of that is you? It is a dream.
Prabhu, again your screen is frozen. Sarvadal Prabhu. Hare Krishna. I think we'll connect back. See.
Haribo, we had some problem. Do you hear me now?
Yes, Prabhu. Go ahead.
I lost internet connection. I had to sign on with my phone. I'm not sure what kind of connection we're going to get with my mobile phone. Anybody still here?
Yes, we can hear you, Prabhu. Go ahead.
Okay.
Thank you.
So the lotus feet of Lord Nityananda are not illusion, they are true. But this materialistic society, they call everything as mythological. Even I heard on internet a statement given by Prime Minister Narendra Modi. In a political discussion, he made reference to Sudama and Dwarkadish, Krishna and Dwarka. And the news reported it as the Prime Minister making reference to the mythological story of Krishna and Sudama. This is what's happening all over the world. That they take that which is true to be false and that which is false to be true. Bodily conception of life. What is more false than that? I am my body. I can enjoy in this material world. It's all about I. It's all about me. Everything is mine. This is illusion. This is myth. Your life is a myth. Not Krishna Lila, not Supreme Lord. He has his place. He has his form. He has his associates. He has his dress. He has his food. He has everything. He's not a myth. Your life is a myth. But they present to undermine the truth of Shastra, of Mahabharata, of Ramayana, of Upanishads, of the Puranas, Srimad Bhagavatam. They say, oh, this is all a myth. Why? Because they can't, their tiny brain can look beyond their own tiny little well, their frog in the well mentality. If I haven't seen it, how is it possible? When we read in Ramayana that Rama slew 14,000 Rakshasas with a bow and arrow, and they say, this is mythology, this is impossible. Impossible in your consciousness, in your tiny pea brain, you're unable to accommodate the inconceivable achintya nature of God. Or when they say, Krishna went cowherding with 9 lakhs of cows, they'll get out their calculator and they'll calculate the square footage of Vrindavan. Then they'll calculate the square footage occupied by 1 cow. And they'll say, how can 9 lakhs of cows fit in Braj? 9 lakhs of cows can fit in the head of a pin in Krishna Lila because it is inconceivable, achintya. But we try and force everything within our consciousness. If I've seen it, if I can conceive of it, then it's true. If I can't conceive of it, if I haven't heard of it, if I can't experience it, then it is not true. Who are you? Who are you to say? Mr. Imperfect Senses, Mr. Tiny Brain, Mr. Illogical Fool. Who are you to judge the Leela of the Lord and reject it as mythological and accept this world, which is nothing more than a dream, as truth? This is what's happening in Kali Yuga. They're saying that Krishna Leela is fictitious, imaginary. It's a fairy tale. It's a dream. Your whole life is a myth. It's like they're like children. If you go to any beach area when families go on vacation, and what do the kids do? They immediately go down to the beach and they start building sandcastles. They take a little bucket and they make a tower and they make little cars and roads and buildings and they say, look at, see our castle. But what happens? The waves come in and wash the whole thing away. Materialistic person is like those same those playful children on the beach, thinking, now I've made a whole castle. Look at my castle. Look at my opulence. Look at my car, my home, my business. Then the waves come in and wash the whole thing away. And it washes you away also. You're also washed away by time. Kalosmi Bharatashava. Krishna says, I am time. And I've come to destroy everything. So what is myth and what is truth? Nitya Charana Satya, the lotus feet of Lord Nityananda, are truth. So if we take shelter there, Koti Chandra Sushitala, we'll find the soothing aggregate value of millions and millions of moons. That is what we're looking for in Krishna Bhakti. Not the so-called place where there is no shelter. Samashitaye pada, Bhagavatam says, Samashitaye pada pallava yugam Samashitaye pada pallava. I'm mixing two shlokas in my brain. Old age has come. This will happen to you also, Mataji's, Prabhu's. Old age, your brain becomes a little feeble. Anyway, materialistic person, they take shelter of this material world. Padam padam yad vipadam nadesham.
Punya Isho Murari.
Yes, punya sho marare. We take shelter. Vatsapadam, that we can easily cross the whole material creation as easily as a person crosses that amount of water contained in the hoofprint of a calf. And what is this material world? Padam padam yad vipadam. Danger at every step. Devotee surpasses that also by taking shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord. Samashruti pada pallava yugam. By taking shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord. Punya yasho marare. This is our whole process of bhakti. We should count our blessings. We're so very, very fortunate to have come to Krishna Bhakti and to take shelter of the worship of Gaur Nitai, who overlooks our offensive. I'm getting a mixture. The connection is unstable. Are we still online?
Yes, Prabhu. Yep, we can hear you.
Okay. In the fourth canto, in the story of Sati and Lord Shiva and Daksha, Sati begins to defend Lord Shiva. Daksha is saying this person is simply full of inauspicious qualities. You'll not find anything good in him. And Sati is saying, actually, Lord Shiva is so kind that even if a person has only a small, infinitesimal good quality, he magnifies that and disregards all the bad qualities. So this is also even more true with Gaur Nitai. Lord Chaitanya, Lord Nityananda, they see some slight flicker, some slight spark of bhakti, and they fan it. They fan that spark to make it a blazing fire, ultimately of Krishna Prema. This is a mercy of Gaur Nitai, a mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Nityananda Prabhu, who are Parama Karuna, topmost merciful person, the zenith, the end, the acme of all mercy. No one more merciful. Parama Karuna. So Srila Prabhupada took this mercy and he distributed it to every town and village, because this is the prediction of the Lord himself. Pritibhiteyacha jatanagaradi gram sarvatra prachar hoibe more nam. Lord Chaitanya said, my name, more nam, will be chanted in every town and village of the planet. Prabhupada took that not as an analogy, as a fantastic statement, as an allegorical statement. He took it as absolute truth and he made it happen. Prabhupada garlanded the world with the holy name of Gauranga, the holy name Hare Krishna Mahamantra. He garlanded the whole world with that. Think of it. Somewhere in the world, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, someone is giving Bhagavatam class. Someone is singing Sandhya Arati. Someone is singing Mangal Arati. Someone is singing Tulsi Puja. Someone is chanting Japa 24 hours a day, somewhere in the world, in Africa, in China, in India, Australia, Mexico, North America, South America, Europe. The whole world is buzzing with the holy name of Krishna because of the contribution of this devotee, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Nobody else. Other devotees followed after him, but it's Srila Prabhupada's singular contribution to Krishna Bhakti. Therefore, we call him Prabhupada. His singular contribution to the welfare of the world to introduce the chanting of the holy name of Krishna all over the world. In the estimation of his beloved godbrother, Srila Akinchana Krishna Das Babaji Maharaj, he said, he's the greatest acharya the world has seen, and he's a disciple of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada. He gave credit to our Prabhupada as the greatest acharya because of his absolute faith in the chanting of the holy name, and having that faith blessed with the ability to spread it every Krishna Shakti Bina Nahi Tar Pravartana. He had the Shakti to spread the holy name of Krishna to every town and village, to spread the mercy of Gaur Nitai, to spread the mercy of Harinam Sankirtan to every town and village. The world owes Prabhupada a debt. The whole world is indebted to Srila Prabhupada for introducing the Sankirtan mission, the mercy of Gaur Nitai. Because Gaur Nitai didn't distribute it themselves. They gave the power, the Shakti to his devotee. Krishna Shakti Tar Prabhupada. He gave that Shakti, that power to Prabhupada. Therefore, several of Prabhupada's godbrothers acknowledged him as the Avesh, Shakti Avesh of Nityananda Prabhu. Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Maharaj, Yajavar Maharaj, Bhakti Srila Bhakti Vaibhav Puri Maharaj, several of Prabhupada's godbrothers acknowledged his unique contribution to the world, to Gaudiya Vaishnavism, to fulfill the mission of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So we can't imagine our good fortune to be connected so intimately with such an extraordinary devotee as Srila Prabhupada, who is blessed with the Avesh of Lord Nityananda, even more merciful than Lord Nityananda, because he gave us Lord Nityananda to worship. Sorry for the interruption. The internet here can be a little temperamental sometimes. We can end here. Does anyone have any comment or question?
Amrutanand Prabhu, go ahead.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glory to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you, Prabhu. I'm sorry I joined a little.
Please accept mine. Jai Srila Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna. So Prabhu, this thing about mythology and factual, correct?
Yes.
My thinking is, Prabhu, that whether something is true or false, actual or mythical, it is faith which drives you in a direction. So if we have faith and then we accept, Shabda Praman. So for that acceptance, faith is required, but faith is so unreliable. It can be strengthened, it could be weakened, we could lose the faith. But yet, for something so sublime as the absolute truth, we need that Adav Shraddha. So each person, I think, is hardwired to have faith, whether in the right direction or wrong direction, Prabhu. So if someone thinks that, oh, this is wrong and this is right, is his faith. And I say, no, this is right. It's my faith. So how do we resolve this other than experiential? Okay, fine. Proof of pudding is in the tasting. But then our Shastras say that out of the three types of getting knowledge, Shabda Pramana, which again comes back to faith. So how do we understand this whole dilemma, Prabhu, of right, wrong, faith, beliefs? If you could please help understand.
What you're saying is important understanding, because just because I believe, if I say it is my absolute faith the moon is made of cream cheese. I have absolute faith in this statement. There is no way you're going to convince me otherwise. Does my faith make something true? It does not. So people argue back and forth, my faith, your religion, my religion, but we have to accept that there is an absolute truth. So who has that absolute truth? That is to be determined by many things. And the statement of Bhagavad Gita is Raja Vidya Raja Goyam Pavitamidam Uttaman Pratyaksha Bhagamam Damyam Susukham Kartam Avyayam. But this process described by Lord Krishna in Bhagavad Gita. It says this is the perfection of religion because it gives direct perception of the self by realization. It is it is joyful and it is everlastingly performed. So pratyaksha means direct experience. We can speak. For example, if we discuss what is the characteristic of honey, we can speak about it scientifically. It's made by these 6-legged winged insects that fly from flower to flower, collecting honey. They pack it in a 6-sided wax cell. In course of time, it becomes this delicious, tasty, nutritious, sweet liquid honey. But that's a very different discussion than actually putting some in your mouth and tasting it. Tasting honey is pratyaksha. So this is the process of bhakti. In course of time, we get pratyaksha, we get direct experience of Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Krishna says, by this process, bhaktya tanannaya shakya aham bidam bedvaj gyatum drashtum chatvina pravisham chaparantapa. By this process, gyatum, you can know me, drashtum, you can see me. Seeing God is what more pratyaksha than you want, what more experience you want. But it is based on faith. We say adho shraddha. In the beginning, there must be faith. Faith means to place your trust in something sublime that, all right, I have enough faith to take up the process. Now, there's a very interesting discussion, an argument actually at Oxford University with an atheist, a PhD atheist, and His Holiness Shivaram Maharaj. He makes a very important point there that is relevant to this discussion. He says that I can't prove to you there is God, and you cannot prove to me there is not God, but I can give you a process by which you can directly experience God, and that is the process of bhakti. Are you willing to take it up? So we should have faith that this process of bhakti will give us that experience, and there are signposts along the path of our progress. We can see a detachment from matter, attention to spirituality. We become peaceful, we become self-controlled, we become happy in this world simply by executing simple process of bhakti. So seeing the road signs along the path increases our faith that we are indeed on the right path. And if we follow the path trod by the Mahajans, I will reach the same goal. So it's quite scientific, actually. But we should have, it's based on faith. Adho Shraddha, in the beginning, there has to be faith. Not just my belief system, your belief system. And we argue with each other. There's really no value. Srila Jiva Goswami talks about as Vada, Vitanda, and Jalpa. 3 types of discussion. Vitanda means this useless argument, name calling. Jalpa, I'm not even listening to you. I only want to find the defect in your argument and just arguing, you're my enemy. I want to defeat you in argument. Vada discussion is useful, where we conjointly, respectfully understand what is true. That type of discussion we can have with anybody, and that has value. But this, my belief and you're right and I'm wrong, you're going to heaven, I'm going to hell, what is the use? Nothing good comes from that. So I don't know if that's helpful to you or not, Prabhu, but those are my thoughts on the topic.
Yes, Prabhu. So would it be correct that a person can believe in anything, as you said, the cream cheese moon, but faith is the one which draws him to his belief, correct? So understanding this thing, faith, what is faith then, and where it comes from, and
Prabhupada said faith means trust in something sublime. Where we perform acts of faith every day. When you go to the grocery store and you buy a gallon of milk, it could be poisoned. Some insane person could have injected some deadly poison through the plastic bottle cap, and you open it and you pour some on your cereal and you die. It could be poison. We have faith when we drive down the road that that the opposite party stays in their lane and they don't create head-on crash. We have faith that we turn on our vehicle, that it doesn't blow up in our face. We perform acts of faith every day. Why not have faith in Krishna? Put trust in something sublime. Have faith in God and see the result. Because the result is there. It's to be tasted. Pratyaksha. Direct experience.
Very nice. Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Thank you for nice. That's a very important question, Prabhu. Intelligent question. Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you very much, Prabhu. A wonderful class. We'll conclude with the quick announcements, unless anyone else has a question.
My happiness, thank you for the opportunity
Thank you.
to
Thank you, Prabhu.
speak to you.
Yes. Vanchakalpatarubhasya pasandubhaya patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavibhyo namo Vaishnavibhyo
Hare
jai.
Vaishnav.
Yeah.
Jai Srila
God bless you, sir.
Prabhupada ki jai.
All the
Thank you,
best to
Prabhu.
Patita,
Thank you.
patita, patita, patita pamana Nityananda Ram ki jai.
Yeah.
Hare Mahamantra ki jai.
Please join today evening Sunday Feast program. Slow Temple 5:30 to 9. The next upcoming program, February 29th, Thursday, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur Goswami Prabhupada's Avirbhav Tithi, 150th anniversary. So we are celebrating from 6 to 9 p.m. with Kirtan and Arati, Pushpanjali, glorifications, offerings. Please bring your offerings, not only verbal offerings, but the main offerings for Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur's Avirbhav. And next Ekadasi is March 6th, Wednesday is Ekadasi, March 24th, Sunday is the biggest festival, Sri Gaur Purnima. So very, very important for all of us, Sunday. So those are the upcoming events. Govindas, you can place your order, govindasanjay.com. Friday evening we have pizzas. So any other programs you have like to order, please contact us or place the order, govindasanjay.com. Okay, thank you very much. We'll conclude today's session.
Thank you, Haribol.
Okay.
Thank you, everybody. Hari Bol, Hare Krishna.